Welcome to my first Scratch tutorial. In this video, I'm just going to be showing you the interface of Scratch and how to use it. So right now I'm in Scratch 2, and you might not have this, but you can either download it off the web, or you can go to the App Store if you're on a Mac. I'm not sure if it's on the Google Store either, but and you can download something called Scratch Desktop. Right, you can see down here, it looks like that. It's pretty much the same as Scratch 2. It might look a little bit different, but all the blocks are pretty much the same. So you can use that one too if you want. First things first, all you can see here is you have a sprite, you have one stage or the backdrop, you have your view, what you can see, and you have all these blocks over here. So you can see I have motion, I'm in the blue motion tab, and I have all these blocks. I can click on looks and it'll switch to all these blocks. So there's lots of other blocks that I can do and use, and that gives Scratch a lot of power that you can use to make pretty much any 2D thing you want. If you're really good at it, you can also make 3D things. That is pretty much what Scratch is capable of. So also up here on the top you can see costumes, and you can switch between two costumes. Our Scratch Cat is doing a little boogie. I don't actually recommend using a mouse. The only thing I would use the mouse for is for dragging and dropping things, because it's a little harder to do on the trackpad. Unless you're really good at doing the trackpad, which I'm not. Okay, so we have our cat, and we want it to do something. So you'd probably think that you just go like this, right? Move 10 steps. Just click it in there. Well, if you try to run your code, nothing is going to happen. That's because you don't have an event to start this block of code. So you click the events, and you can choose any of these. So when the flag's clicked, when space key, and you can select any of these keys when the sprite is clicked, but I'm just going to go with the simplest one, which is when the flag is clicked. Now if we press the flag, we'll see he moves across the screen. But I want it so he doesn't keep going. I want it so he resets to his original position. A way you can do that, you can either do it manually by dragging this above move 10 steps, and the reason you want it to be above is because Scratch code is executed from top to bottom. So it'll first do this, it'll first go to X wherever, and then it will move 10 steps. So that's another just quick helpful hint to help you debug and code stuff in Scratch. So we want this little Scratch guy to start in the middle, then move 10 steps, and then when I click this again, I want him to start back in the middle, and then move 10 steps again. So how am I going to do that? I can do it actually the manual, aka the hard way, where I could type in 0, 0. Now if I run, you'll see he's in the... Okay, so you'll see another bug here. When you hit play, he does not move. So, what's the problem here? Well, if you think about it, when I press start, I'm going to go to X somewhere, and then I'm going to move 10 steps. So pretty much you'll probably never see me move 10 steps. It executes so fast that if I go to X0, Y0, and I move 10 steps, I'll go backwards again and then move 10 steps. But it happens so fast, you can't even see when my cat goes to those coordinates. So a way you can fix that is go into Control and drag this wait 1 second in there. And now you can actually see it move forward. So now it's moving back and forth, and so what we could actually do with this is you can just click inside this box and type in the amount that you want. And I'm going to make it look like he's dancing, because, I don't know, dancing's cool. So I could actually, if I want it to be a more realistic kind of dance, I'll drag him to the middle, near the middle, and then I can click this little stamp up here on the top, and that will bring up this little duplicate button over your cursor. So if you click on a block, if I click on 2 blocks, it'll duplicate the 2 blocks. And if I want to throw something away, I can just drag it into here. But if I click it here, it'll just duplicate that 1 block. And I just want that 1 block to be duplicated. So now if I click this, it'll look like that, which probably isn't what you want. So what I can do instead is switch this to 30 and then switch the second one to -30. So now he'll go forward, backward. And if I want him to keep dancing over and over and over, I can go into the control tab and drag in repeat. You can choose how long you want it to repeat. So right now I have it at 10. So he'll do this 10 times. And you'll see he does get a little bang, bang, which is not really what we want. So we can either drag this wait 1 seconds up on the top or on the bottom. Because if you think about it, if we drag it on the bottom, it starts up here. He'll move 10 steps, wait a second, move -30 steps, wait a second, move 30 steps, wait a second, move -30 steps, wait a second. And it works the same way like this. Like wait 1 second, move 30 steps, wait 1 second, move -30 steps, wait 1 second, move 30 steps. But so you pretty much get the idea. So, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to actually put that on the bottom. So now, if we look at this, it'll look a bit better, like he's actually dancing. But we want him to actually look like he's dancing, not like he's just sliding across the stage. Unless he can moonwalk, which I highly doubt it. No, almost nobody can moonwalk except for Michael Jackson. At least I don't know how to moonwalk. But so anyway, so we can either, I kind of want him to go on forever and ever until I hit this little stop button. So I'm actually going to replace this repeat with forever. So now he'll do it forever and ever and ever. But I want to make it look like he's moving across the stage. So if you've noticed, you can go into this costumes tab and click each one and he'll actually change. Well, I probably want him to do this as he moves across the stage, so it looks like he's dancing. So what I can do is click under the Looks tab, and down near in the middle, you can see Switch Costume. So this is very, very, very helpful. At the start, I want him to start with this costume he's on. So that costume is, if we look in the Costumes tab, Costume 1. So I'm going to click this drop down and choose Costume 1. And now when I move 30 steps, so I want to start him off with this. But then when I click the start button, I want him to switch to Costume 2, move 30 steps, and then switch to Costume 1. Wait 1 second. And so a quick way I can actually do this is I don't have to go to Costume 1, Costume 2, Costume 1, Costume 2. I don't really have to do that. All I have to do is just go like this. So now, when we run it, you don't see anything. And that's because we only have him switch costumes in a little section. See the section here? And that happens in less than a second. So we won't be able to see it. So what we probably want to do is we'll remove all this stuff here. It's like, so you can see something's happening with him. Because as I took out code, all you can see is forever next costume move 30 steps. So he's going to forever run across the stage. So that actually looks like he's running, doesn't it? Like, look at that. Deed. Deed. Oh. Oh my. Where is he? Oh no. What have I done? What have I done? No, so way to fix that, I'll just go like this. So when I click this, he's gonna run off of the stage like that. But I don't want him to go that fast. So pretty much what I can do, I'm just gonna trash all this because it's easier to just do a simple walking thing first. He's actually instead gonna move 20 steps. Now it looks like this. It looks still like he's going too fast, so I'll switch it to 10. And now let's see how this looks. He goes so fast! Well, there's a quick way to fix that. Wait 1 second. And it might be like, but that's okay, because you can easily fix it. Point 2, Wiki. Looks like he's scooching across the screen. So I'm gonna change this instead back to 20 now that we have the small margin. And now look, we have a little guy that jumps around the screen, but then he hits the wall and he stops. So how can we fix that? Well, we can drag in an if-then statement. And now we can go into sensing, touching, mouse pointer, and we can switch it to edge. And now, first thing you want to do is go into this info tab and switch its rotation style to there. So now, if you do motion, turn 90 degrees, it won't turn him like that. It'll flip him around. So now let's see how this looks. So look, he turned around and he's running back. But you can see he goes up and down and up and down. And that's just because he's turning while he's touching the edge. I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. Right now, it looks like he's walking in nothingness. Let's try to make it look like he's walking in the middle of a road. And that calls for part 2. Okay, so now part 2. We're going to make him look like he's actually running along a track. So luckily for us, Scratch has actually made a default track screen. So we'll click to this little picture icon down here for a new backdrop. And now you'll see all these choices. Wow. So you can choose any of these if you want, but I'm personally going to choose track. Because, duh, why not? So now, it looks like he's running along a track. But, there's a problem. He starts at the middle of the track. So, we can fix that. So, as you can see, if I select my sprite, because it does it by code, so if you select a stage, you won't see anything because you don't have any code in the stage. But, so you can see it starts here. But, do you actually want to manually switch this to precisely right there? No, of course you don't. Nobody does. They always want the easy way. Because they're all lazy. So, I'm going to trash that. And now you'll notice this go to block has coordinates in it, even though we haven't entered anything. And watch, when I drag my Scratch guy and drop him, they'll change. That's because they instantly switch to wherever he is in the actual world. Okay, that looks pretty good. So he's just running the racetrack. Oh, looks pretty good. But you'll see, if I hit play, he starts rotated that way. So what we can do is we can set at the beginning to point in direction 90, or you can choose from one of these drop downs. So if I select point in direction 90, now it'll look like this. So it'll instantly start pointing that way. So now he's running his race. So that is pretty much the first animation you've made in Scratch. Well done.